Hello, BoLS fans. I'm AdamHarry. We're back again with another quick overview. Today we have two books that we're doing at the same time, and you'll see why here in a second. But we have Realms Teclis and the new Battletome Lumineth Realm-lords updated for you here. So, quick update here. The reason we're doing both of these books at the same time is essentially if you were playing Lumineth Realm-lords, this is your new Battletome, right? And you're probably wondering, well, which book do I need to buy? How does this work? Yada yada yada. If you have the old book and you don't want to replace the old book, you can just get this book. It's got all the new units in there. You're good to go there. However, if you want to have everything all together at once so that you don't have to like keep flipping back between two books, you get this book. It's real simple. This one also has a bunch of other rules for other factions, and particularly Death and Nurgle. So it's got some stuff in here for those armies too. Yeah, it's also got a lot of lore, which is actually one of the coolest parts about the Realms Teclis book. It's got a ton of lore in here for you, for fans. It's a massive throwdown between Teclis and Nagash, and there's just a whole lot of really cool stuff that happens in this book. As a fan of both, a fan of Nagash and also of Teclis here, you're gonna love it. Yeah, so a lot of really cool lore in here. Same deal in here. Lots of cool lore. It's most of the stuff from the previous book, and then some new stuff lore wise. But again, it's got all your data sheets, and all the rules are basically the same from this book, also in here now too. So that said, we're gonna go over each book individually now from here on out. But I just wanted to mention we're doing both books in this one video, so if it's a little long, that's why. But yeah, if you again have the old book and just want to buy one, get this one. If you just want to have everything all in one spot, get this one. There you go. Alright, we're going to kick it off with Realms Teclis next. This one, again, like I mentioned earlier, lots of lore, lots of really crazy things going on here. I'm not going to read everything. Again, this is an overview, so we're going to go kind of quick through the lore sections and hit some of the highlights. Oh, and by the way, from here on out, spoilers. Pretty major spoilers, so there you go. This book is focusing on the conflict between Teclis and Nagash and what's going on between them. Basically, after the events of the Necroquake, if you're caught up on the lore, Teclis is mad, and he feels like Nagash has ruined the underworld for the souls of people who have passed, and he's back to restore some hope and also slap Nagash around for extending his reach, quote-unquote, into the realm of So there you go. Here's everybody involved. Here's the table of contents. It's a lot of stuff. There's 3 acts to this book: the War of Empires, the War of Mortarchs, and the A Clash of the Gods. You can kind of tell where this is going. And again, spoilers from here on out. One last warning. Big overall spoilers. This does not end well for Death. So if you're a fan of Death, like me, this one's a little rough. But it's good. It's good. Again, I'm not going to go through all the lore, but you get the idea here. You basically get to see what's kind of what sets us off. I mean, kind of backtracking a little bit, we got the Necroquake where Nagash cast the big spell and sent the ripples of death energy throughout all of the realms and yada yada yada. We have the Night Haunt kick things off with an attack on the new Cities of Sigmar subfaction, actually, Settlers Gain in Hush. Sorry, I'm saying that wrong. That goes sort of poorly for both sides. Death on both sides. But the Lumineth do rally and kick some butt because Teclis shows up with the what's it called? The big Celerant. What's it called? His buddy that I can't remember the name of right now, but he's in there too. Kicking everybody's butt, and then we get into, that's kind of the prologue, and we get to the War of the Empire. The Selenor, sorry. Yes, War of Empires, anyway. This is really cool. There's a lot of really great lore, really cool maps throwing down. It shows off, this is basically the Lumineth attacking the Ossiarch Empire, and Catacross is well prepared to defend, but the Lumineth are pretty relentless. It's really good back and forth stuff. There's just really cool. It's really cool how they introduce a lot of the new Lumineth units and how they interact and how they wage war. So it definitely catches the Ossiarch Bone Reapers off guard, if you will. Catacross is having to adjust. On the flip side, again, it does not end well for the Ossiarch Bone Reapers. They do lose some territory. However, the Lumineth Realm-lords are not exactly there as conquerors. They're there to kind of spread the light of hope, if you will. And so they're not there to take territory either. So the Ossiarch Bone Reapers don't come out ahead, but they do end up with a whole lot of skeletal remains of elves. And apparently that's a valuable resource for them too. So kind of a back and forth there. Moving on, I'm going to skip to the next one. Again, it goes through just that whole battle and how that works. We get to the War of the Mortarchs. This one's actually really cool because it kind of shows you what each Mortarch is up to during these fights. Manfred von Karsten, Nefertata, sorry, I always get her name mixed up. She's obviously thrown down here too. And then Arkan the Black. And they each have their own little sub-story here. There's some millennial-old beef going down too with Arkan the Black and the Light of Valerian. Spoilers, it does not end well. We get a nice summary page here. So the Tableau of Fates, basically Death gets their butt kicked. Just straight up. Nagash may have lost Archon. It's a little iffy there. It's bad news. There's a whole lot of dead, undead, a lot of losses. LRL gets to show up too, and she gets to kick some butt. It's just not good. Clash of the Gods, and again, if you haven't caught on by now, since this book is called Broken Realms Teclis, it's all about the big man himself, Teclis, and he kind of slaps Nagash around. Long story short, like I said, a whole lot of war going on here. They do get into it, and Nagash actually gets crushed. Almost literally. There's a lot of light magic going down. Chains of light get summoned around Nagash, kind of like how they did to Slaanesh. He gets drugged down. He gets pummeled by hammers by Ymetrica and just like smashed to bits. And the light kind of binds him and kicks his butt. Turns out the undead don't do well when you turn your lights on, apparently. So anyway, that purifying light does a number on Nagash. His essence probably escaped. It's hard to keep the old necromancer down, right? But he probably... It sounds like he's been bound in this little kind of afterward here between Alariel and Teclis. It sounds like Nagash has been basically bound to Shaiish now. So his power has been reined in after the Necroquake quite a bit. That's got some big repercussions. We don't know what that means. Again, Nagash kind of came on the scene after the Necroquake and slapped Chaos around quite a bit. So we'll see how that goes. And that's a really, really high level. I skipped a whole lot of really cool stuff. I don't want to give you all the spoilers, but yeah, there you go. Get into the new rules. There's a ton of really cool rules, campaign rules in here. You can play through each one of the sections I just talked about. Do new realms of battle for you to try around. Again, it's Shaiish for the armies that take place there, Giran, the Realm of Life, and then Ymetrica in Hush. So really cool stuff to play around. A bunch of different armies to play around with too. Again, you can play with the armies recommended, or you can just use these as kind of missions to play. However you want to do that. There's really cool battle plans, and there's a handful of them to play with. Going through here, again, if you want to throw down Teclis versus Nagash, seems pretty cool. There's some new Battletome updates, and again, just to reiterate, Battletome updates are also in this book for all the Lumineth stuff, which we'll go over here in a second. Battletome updates for the Nurgle stuff, which is really cool. Sloppy Bob Piper got an update. Spoilpox Scrivener got an update. The Beast Nurgle got an update. There's also these different War Scroll battalions in the book as well. There are also box sets that are being released alongside this release. So there's the one for the Nurgle one, and then there's Cities of Sigmar. Just a side note, GW got the page number wrong here. It says the Allegiance abilities are on page 100 to 101. They're actually on page 98 to 99, whatever. You get the War Magi War Scroll here. Again, this is box set coming out. You get all of the Settlers Gain Allegiance abilities. This thing's kind of busted because you can put Teclis in a Cities of Sigmar army with this. So Lumineth Realm-lords, him with endless spells, enhanced endless spells seems rough. Moving on, there's also Mortavel's Hell Court, which is a Flesh Eater Court army, and then the Hodric's Dreadlance, which is another OBR battalion. So again, a little bit of things for other armies, and then we get into the Lumineth Realm-lord rules, which I'm actually going to stop here because we're going to go through all the stuff in the Battletome anyway, but you get basically everything from the book too, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else that you really need to know before you switch to the book. And it's a lot of really cool, pretty models, and then all of that stuff, allegiance ability updates, yeah, all of that good stuff, yeah, War Scrolls, and yeah. So that's gonna be it for Teclis. You get the idea. Let's jump over to the new Lumineth Realm-lords book. All right, now that you got a bit of a teaser of the rules, let's talk about the Lumineth Realm-lords actual book here. So again, this kind of reiterates what we just went through in the Broken Realms Teclis. There's lots of lore, kind of more of a top-down view of, I guess, kind of from the beginning. You get more of that background, and again, it kind of reintroduces them. If you're brand new to Lumineth, this is the book to buy. You can't get the Teclis book, but you probably want to get this book instead. If you had to pick one or the other, if you're brand new, get this one. Age of Myth goes through all that. Goes through kind of the early days. Again, you probably recognize a lot of the stuff from the previous book. There's some cool stuff. I want to talk about some of the new stuff, so I'm going to skip ahead. There are two new nations to play, Illumina and Helena, which they have rules now in this book, so I'm going to skip over to those. But again, it goes through each unit. You get the ballistas are back, which is pretty awesome. The Venari Blade Lords, they're not back. It's not like they're great swords or anything. We get to introduce to the Huracan and all those cool models. Yeah, the Wind and the Mountain, all that fun stuff goes to the model sections here. Again, all the new models are also showed off, which is awesome. We get some new characters, all this great new stuff. Flipping. How to paint stuff, which is kind of a big deal. Then we get into some of the other rules. Their allegiance abilities. This stuff hasn't really changed around too much. Again, it's updated though. I'm not going to go over all the little details here. Just know that this is where you find your allegiance abilities here. Aether Quartz is still a thing. Heightened Reflex is still a thing. Heightened Senses, Magical Boost. So all that good stuff for the different factions there. Venari, Sonari, and Huracan, Olorith. If you're playing those, yep. Spell lores, you get the Lore of the Winds now, Lore of the High Peaks, Lore of Hush, or Hush, however you want to say it. Cool. The Shrine Luminor is new, so this is a really cool thing, and this is a scenery piece. I believe it's free. Let's check real fast, because you also get points in the back here. Shrine Luminor is free, so 0 points. So why wouldn't you take one? Other than buying one. And then we get to the nations, which most of these you've seen before. And then we get to the two new nations, Illumina and Nation of Helon. So it's kind of the Archer one. Yeah, good stuff all around. For those, you get your battle plans, and a couple, like 3 of those actually. Path to Glory rules in here too. Great way to start an army and play. Then we get to the big War Scrolls, and these are the big battalions and things like that. You get several to play around with. And then we jump into the actual rules here. Again, not going to go over all the different War Scrolls, just know that they're all in here now, all consolidated in one. The new hero, one of the new heroes I should say, on the mount, the Warden of Umetrica here, Leroy, sorry. Uthraeli? Sorry, I don't know how to say that one. Lyrior? Uthraeli? I don't know. He's the warden. He's the guy in the kangaroo. It's cool. It's cool. The Venari Blade Lords and stuff are in here too, along with all the old units. So it's all combined into one thing. The ballistas are here. Yep. Olorith. All the good stuff. You get the idea. Boom. That is the Lumineth Battletome. And Broken Realms Teclis. Again, both these books are out right now. My recommendation personally, if you're not playing some of the other factions too that were listed in this book, like the Ossiarch Bone Reapers or Nurgle, or even Cities of Sigmar, if you're not collecting those things too, and caveat, if you are not interested in the lore of what's going on with the Broken Realms, which is actually kind of a big deal, but if you're not reading that stuff, that's fine. I can respect that. Just get the new Battletome and be done with it. If you have the old Battletome and you don't want to buy both of these books, probably get Teclis, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of up to you guys what you want to buy, which one you want. Do you need both? Technically, no. If you want everything all at once for the Lumineth, get this book. If you want to match up your old book with the new one, get this one and read the lore and enjoy it, because it's really good. Anyway, that's all I got. This has been a quick overview. I'm AdamHarry from BoLS. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good one. Click to subscribe. Check out more videos. And thanks for watching.